A force is a push or a pull that can change an object's motion, shape, or direction. In everyday life, forces are happening all around us, even when we do not notice them straight away. When a person kicks a football or opens a door, a force is being applied. Forces are important because they help explain why objects start moving, stop moving, speed up, slow down, or change direction. A force can even change the shape of an object, such as when a sponge is squeezed or a spring is stretched. Forces can be grouped into two main types: direct and indirect forces. A direct force is also called a contact force because it only happens when objects are touching. In other words, contact is needed for the force to act. Examples of direct forces include friction, air resistance, tension, and applied force. Friction occurs when two surfaces rub against each other, such as shoes gripping the ground when a person walks. Air resistance is a force that pushes against moving objects in the air, such as a bike rider traveling downhill. Tension is the pulling force carried through a rope, string, or cable. An applied force is a push or pull caused by a person or another object, such as pushing a shopping trolley. An indirect force is also called a non-contact force because it can act over a distance without objects touching. This means the force still works even when there is a gap between the objects. Common indirect forces include gravitational, magnetic, and electrostatic forces. Gravity pulls objects towards Earth. Magnetic forces can attract or repel certain metals and other magnets. Electrostatic forces occur when charged objects attract or repel each other. Both direct and indirect forces can cause objects to speed up, slow down, change direction, or change shape. For example, when a soccer ball is kicked, the applied force from the foot makes the ball move. As it travels through the air, gravity pulls it downwards while air resistance pushes against its motion. This shows that more than one force can act on an object at the same time. Another example is riding a bicycle. The rider applies force to the pedals, friction helps the tires grip the road, air resistance pushes backwards, and gravity pulls the bike down towards the ground. The movement of the bicycle depends on the combined effect of all these forces. A common misconception is that a force is only present when something is moving. This is not correct. Forces can act on objects that are still. For example, a book resting on a desk is not moving, but gravity is pulling it down while the desk pushes up on the book. Sometimes people think friction is always a bad thing. Although friction can slow motion and cause wear, it is also very useful because it allows people to walk without slipping, cars to grip the road, and pencils to write on paper. Understanding direct and indirect forces can help explain many events in everyday life. Whether an object is falling, rolling, bouncing, stopping, sticking, or being pulled, forces are involved. By identifying the type of force and what it is doing to the object, you can better understand how motion works and why objects behave the way they do.